Attention. Welcome to the Different Spectrums podcast. We dive into the wild world of mental health discussions. Get ready for profound talks, a sprinkle of humor and sarcasm, and a touch of colorful language. Just a quick heads up, our show reflects our individual opinions, which may not align with the standpoint of the podcast, our featured guests, or any related corporate entities. Our mission? To illuminate through laughter and satire because everyone needs a good chuckle. Chill out and don't stress over the small stuff. Legal troubles? No, thank you. Cancel culture? Please spare us. We'd rather keep this space lawsuit free. So buckle up, have a good time, and join us as we navigate the vibrant realm of mental health on the Different Spectrums podcast.
Hey everybody, we back again.
Hey, we're back and we're live.
I'm Spencer, your co-host, and of course we have our licensed clinical therapist, Naz.
Dr. Nas. And I got the skullet going today. You see, they call it my client said I got a skullet. It's because you got no top. It's a skull and it is a mullet. Skullet. Okay, I'm done.
It's sad what bald people have to say for their hair.
It's sad that my
They
client
have
said
to
it.
make up these terms.
I didn't make it up. My client
You
told
have to
me.
make up terms just to feel like you're part of the team. You're not. You're not.
Jesus Christ.
You're bald. Get over it.
I
All
know.
right. Anyways, remember, don't take us too seriously.
Or do. Completely up to you.
There you go. Also, don't forget to run up those likes for us. We'd really appreciate it. So, our guest for today is a triple board certified psychiatrist balancing clinical leadership with pop culture. He also leads mental health programs at Innova and runs Luku Psych in Virginia, which also advocates for innovative treatments and breaks down complex mental health topics with sneaker style flair as the kicks shrink. Please welcome Dr. Sulman Mirza.
What's up, everybody? I'm glad to be here. It's funny because we're talking about not Dr. Nazi being bald, and that's part of the reason I've been growing this man bun out is because all my friends, brother-in-laws, they all booking those flights to Turkey to get the transplants. I was like, oh, I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Wait a minute. I'm too autistic for this. Did you go to Turkey to get a hair transplant?
No,
okay.
no.
Your friends did.
I was like,
Saying he's got all natural.
I'm all natural. All my peoples is going bald, and they're booking the flights. I'm like, okay,
Doc,
good for you, man.
Help me out with this. Why is it that Turkey's the place for hair transplants? Is there a reason why they just got the hair guys? I don't understand.
Very innovative.
They got the hair guys, and I think they got a whole package. They pick you up from the airport, they put you up in a suite, and they do the operation, then they hook you back up, and it's a whole package deal apparently.
Jesus.
From what I heard from these people.
Yeah, from what you heard.
Heard. I have no idea what happened.
Let me see your AirPod records, motherfucker.
Too many friends been telling me about this, so I'm like, all right, I understand what's happening.
Too many friends, whatever, Doc. I know that ain't your hair.
All my friends say they all like to go to Turkey.
Just like all my friends are gay, but not me. I'm joking.
Yeah. His friends are straight.
Yeah. Oh my God. Continue.
Oh, okay. So today we are actually going to be doing the movie K-pop Demon Hunters. As you can see on that side. So this actually came out this year, which was a global sensation. Just like all the K-pop / anime things that come out, it was a global sensation on Netflix. And so we're going to be talking about a few things such as shame, our scars, as well as finding people, but they have to be found in the right places, right? Not all the time people that you get along with are probably going to be the best for you in the long run. All right. So we're going to be talking about that. We're also going to be talking about being able to open up and able to heal. Anything before we get into it?
We're going to talk about multiple different things, a lot, and the scars and shame and healing, couple big words that stuck out was the co-regulation, and also understanding that we all have shit, we all have baggage, we all have demons, we all have these things, right? These monsters. Doc's gonna hopefully talk about a few things what he said, and then we all, a lot of people know my demons here too, and I think sometimes even as practitioners, it's okay for clients to know some of those things. That way, they're like, "Well, you don't know," or maybe I'll never reach you, or you're always so much better, right? It's really hard sometimes with clients or just people when they think that they suck. And you see like this authenticity come out and everyone gets to heal from it. So I'm excited to have a good talk about healing. Not gonna lie, it's kind of weird that this is boy bands, and the girly bands. I don't really understand, but I guess this is the shit now, Spence. So this is what we're doing, 2025.
You're like Imagine Dragons. The fuck are you talking about?
Wait a minute. Imagine Dragons is good. Imagine them guys are suicidal.
Oh my God, they're fully on their stages. Oh,
Shut the fuck up. Imagine
this girly band.
the girly bands. This episode's for the girlies. I'll tell you
Keep
that
on
right
chasing
now.
those dragons, son. Okay. Whatever you say.
Is that a metaphor for something?
Maybe it is. It's up to you for your interpretation, isn't it?
It's weed.
Yeah.
Excited to talk about a lot of good stuff. Doc's going to drop some knowledge on us, I feel like, today. So they get into it. Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop.
Let's do it.
I don't know why that was
You didn't say the right thing.
You got to say whoop, whoop. I'm sorry, Doc.
My bad. Whoop, whoop.
There it is. Okay.
There it is.
He said, let's do it. That shit caught me off guard.
Let's do it, man.
You can give me this in the
No, it's
the
fine.
warm-up.
You're supposed to struggle with that. You're supposed to.
New single! You hunters!
I was a ghost, I was alone. 두어진 길 속에 given the throne, I didn't know how to believe I was the queen that I'm meant to be. I lived two lives, tried to play both sides, but I couldn't find my own place. Caught a black child, cause I got too wild, but now that's how I'm getting paid. 끝없이 on stage, I'm done hiding now. I'm shining like I'm born to be. We dreaming hard, we came so far now. I believe we're going up, it's our moment. You know they get it, we're going. Gonna be golden.
Do you see my head bobbing right now? Tell us more about that new single, Golden. It's the story of us.
It's a song about who we are and where we're going next. And the first live performance is tonight. It's the beginning of a new chapter for us, for the whole world. And we're so excited to show you what's next.
Waited so long to break these walls down, to wake up and feel like me. Put these patterns all in the past now, and finally live like the girl they all see. No more hiding, I'll be shining like I'm born to be. 'Cause we are hunters, voices strong, and I know I believe we're going up, it's our moment. You know they get it, we're glowing. Gonna be golden. Up, with our voices. You're on the edge, so
Rumi's voice is so incredible.
Can't wait to hear it live.
I'm done hiding now. I'm shining like I'm born to be.
Huh? You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Let's take it again. From the top.
I'm done hiding now. I'm shining like I'm born to be.
Rumi, are you okay? Do you need some water?
I just ate 5. I'm gonna take 5.
5 minutes. We go live in 10. Okay, I can handle this. I'm not having a nervous breakdown. Visualize there's not 10,000 fans at the door screaming and sounding really scary.
Mayday, mayday! There's 10,000 fans at the door screaming and sounding really scary!
My voice? No, no.
We are hunters, voices strong, slaying demons with our song. Fix the world and make it right. When darkness finally meets the light. Celine, do hunters kill all demons?
Yes,
So everything that has patterns?
cover those up. You only have those because
My dad was a demon?
you're not one of them, Rumi. You're a hunter, just like your mother was. When the whole moon is sealed, all the demons will be gone from this world, and so will your patterns.
So these will be gone?
Yes, those will be gone.
You always say no, Rumi.
You're so modest. It's just the bathhouse.
Maybe some other time. You guys go ahead.
Every time.
Maybe they'll understand.
No, Rumi. Nothing can change until your patterns are gone.
No more hiding, I'll be shining like I'm born to be. 'Cause we are hunters, voices strong, and I know I believe.
How am I supposed to fix the world? Fix me when I don't have my voice? Why now when I'm so close? Why? Why does the bird wear a tiny hat?
I made it for the tiger, but the bird keeps taking it.
So, about tomorrow. Have you thought about my proposal?
Look, I want to believe in your crazy plan, but I don't think I'm the one to help you.
Actually, you already have. I spent my whole life keeping this secret, this shame of what I am. And the more I hid this shame, the more it grew and grew until it started to destroy the one thing that gave me a purpose, my voice. But since I've met you, and the more I talk to you, I don't understand it, but somehow my voice is healed.
I try to hide, but something broke. I tried to sing, couldn't hit the notes. The words kept catching in my throat. I tried to smile, I was suffocating though. But here with you, I can finally breathe. You say you're no good, but you're good for me. I've been hoping to change, now I know we can change. But I won't if you're not by my side. Why does it feel right every time I let you in? What does it feel like? I can tell you anything. All the secrets that keep me in chains, and all the damage that might make me dangerous. You got a dark side, guess you're not the only one. What if we both try fighting what we're running from? We can't fix it if we never face it. What if we find a way to escape it? We could be free, free. We can't fix it if we never face it. Let the past be the past till it's weightless.
Oh, time goes by and I lose perspective. Yeah, hope only hurts. so I just forget it. But you're breaking through all the dark in me when I thought that nobody could. And you're waking up all these parts of me that I thought were buried for good. Between imposter and this monster, I've been lost inside my head. Ain't no choice when all these voices keep me pointing towards no end. It's just easy when I'm with you. No one sees me the way you do. I don't trust it, but I want to. I keep coming back to why does it feel right every time I let you in? Why does it feel like I can tell you anything? We can't fix it if we never face it. What if we find a way to escape it? We could be free. We can't fix it if we never face it. Let the past be the past till it's weightless. Give me hope. We can't fix it if we never face it. Let the past be the past till it's weightless.
Thought I could fix it all. Fix me. But I ran out of time. They saw. They know. There's no denying it now. This is what I am.
Rumi, no.
You knew I was a mistake from the very start. Do what you should have done a long time ago. Before I destroy what I swore to protect. Please, do it!
I can't. When we lost your mother, I swore to protect all that was left of her. But I never thought that that would be a child like you. Everything I was taught told me you were wrong. But I made a promise. So I did my best to accept you and help you.
Accept me? You told me to cover up, to hide.
Yes, until we can fix everything. And we still can. We can cover those up and put everything right again. I'll tell Mira and Zoe that it was all a lie, an illusion by Kima to break us apart.
No, no more hiding. No more lies.
Rumi, we can still fix this.
Don't you get it? This is what I am. Look at me. Why can't you look at me? Why couldn't you love me?
I do.
All of me!
This is why we have to hide it. Our faults and fears must never be seen. It's the only way to protect the Hunmun.
If this is the Hunmun I'm supposed to protect, I'm glad to see it destroyed.
Hey everyone, I'm here to talk about our new collaborator, Toink Toys. They have a wide selection of, you guessed it, toys and other great collectibles. They have products from Marvel, Star Wars, Harry Potter, and everything pop culture. You could say they put the toy in Toink. So go check them out at toink.com and use our code Different Spectrums Podcast to get 10% off your entire order today.
And we're back again.
We're back and we're live, and we're singing the girly pop. But you gonna let me sit in it?
You gotta sing it. You gotta sing it now.
I don't know what it is. I'm not hiding something.
No more hiding. Yeah. No more hiding. I'll be shining like I'm born to be.
There it is.
I can't hit the note.
That Born to Be
I
gets
can't
me
hit that
though.
note.
I ain't gonna lie. That Born to Be,
Born to
that
Be is
shit,
legit.
that hits you. You're like, oh, my
Damn,
vagina.
Yeah.
God.
So go-
Ugh. No, we're gonna stay here for a minute. Fucking God.
How about
You
that,
with a
Mr. Jones?
vagina. That'd be the worst thing I could possibly ever
Where's
imagine
my
in
blood
my
pressure
fucking life.
medicine?
You'd be an ugly ass woman.
Why does that potato have a skirt on? Jesus.
Still have the beard and everything. Too.
Yep.
That'd be the thing. All right. So, like I said, we have our guest today.
Yes.
Welcome to the pod. Welcome to the pod.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
So for some of our listeners, could you please give us a little bit of background on yourself and what brought you here on the pod?
Yeah, so my name is Sulman Mirza. I am a triple board certified psychiatrist based out of Northern Virginia, originally from upstate New York. Took a little detour to get to where I need to go to. I initially was going on track to be a dentist. Then that did not work out. Failed out of dental school. Came back home crying, in my bedroom, my kid's bedroom, with my parents being like, "What are you doing with your life?" And I was like, "I don't know." Got a second chance to go to Caribbean Medical School and fell in, did all right over there. Got into psychiatry and loved it so much that I became, adult certified, child adolescent certified, and then I do addiction medicine as well. I work with one of the larger health systems in Northern Virginia we're doing like child and adolescent work. Then I have a private practice as well, working with adults, where I do a lot of stuff with like ADHD, autism, and addiction. Those are my big things with adults. And then, my whole content thing, during like everybody else was bored during the pandemic. My buddy was like a British guy who was like, "Bro, if you got to get on TikTok and you got to like start making mental health videos and those people are going to love it." And he was like blowing up and he's making a career now narrating true crime stories on YouTube and killing it. Good for him.
What?
But he's like, you got to start. Yeah, he's got a Porsche. So like people are like, "Oh, YouTube money." I was like, "Oh, YouTube money is a real thing." So he's doing all right. He's doing better than I am sometimes. But no, he's so he's like, I started doing some of this stuff. I grew up a nice little following on TikTok and branched into all the other socials and now stopped doing some TikToking, do more of like YouTube is my main gig. I like to do a blend of like education and entertainment, try to be down to earth as possible, let people know that like psychiatrists can be like normal human beings as well. That's part of like my shtick as well, is that I'm a normal human being. My psychiatry is what I do as a job. I am a dad, 4 kiddos, and love movies, love professional wrestling, combat sports, and sports, all that stuff. So it helps. I try to see how all these things can blend together and make my life pretty fun. So yeah.
Nice. Look at you.
And sneakers, kick shrink. The whole thing is sneakers head. It's a little fallen off a bit just because of like, I think the boom of sneakers kind of fell off a little bit.
It did.
But yeah, it's really big during the pandemic, just like everything during the pandemic was like, oh, start a YouTube channel, start a podcast, start to like buy sneakers and buy NFTs and stuff. And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? So but like all my childhood fantasies of buying like all the Jordans and stuff when I was alive and thriving when Jordan was at his prime, and my parents, like all good Pakistani parents, were like, no sneakers for you. You can buy like the LA Gear pumps and like the fake me out Jordans, and that's what you get. And why were you even thinking about doing sports in general? Because you should just be studying and reading books. And yeah, that's how it was. So now that I have like money, I buy sneakers, right?
Facts. Are you a millennial or no?
I get all these things mixed up. I was high school class of 2000, so I think that makes me a millennial.
You're
right?
a millennial. Yeah, you're right on that. Yeah. Millennials account for 1/3 of all toys sold in America right now.
Yeah, something like that, right?
Brother, we're buying all this shit. We're buying it all.
They never bought me anything when I was a child.
Yeah.
I need
Lego. Now I'm buying the Legos. I'm buying sneakers and Legos and video games.
See?
That's what you do.
Yep. OnlyFans subscription.
No.
Hey,
You almost agreed
do what
with
you gotta
it.
do,
You
son.
almost
Hey,
agreed with it.
it's our little secret. You know?
It's a shame. I'm joking.
Yes, my shame, my
I
stars.
gotta buy another one.
So the YouTube, is that the short form or is that a little bit longer, medium, like 10-minute? What's the vibe?
Yeah, so the main thing, like people are always like, oh, why aren't you doing TikTok anymore? Is because TikTok became this whole like attention economy thing, right? Like
Yeah.
you've got to like hit them in like 5 seconds, and you've got to like say these shocking statements like SSRIs are the most terrible things of all time, and oh, now I'm going to watch your reel. But what I always talk about is like they can be terrible, but they can also be really beneficial.
Yeah.
So nuance, right? But nuance isn't sexy, and it doesn't get clicks and engagement and all that stuff.
I know.
So that's what I started doing with like YouTube was like I can sit down and make a video on a topic for like 10 minutes, and I can provide like 3, 4, 5 different sides of the story and give somebody who's watching something on like Adderall, they can get a full story versus like Adderall is just crack cocaine, and if you're putting your kids on Adderall, you're just making them into the next Walter White. And I'm just like, oh, these guys, motherfuckers, who's saying this all this shit on TikTok all the time. So these are the people that I was running up, and people were tagging me in all these posts, and I was like, I can't compete with these guys with 500,000 followers who are just like, sucking off RFK. It's just I just wasn't I wasn't enjoying it anymore.
Okay. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Shit's toxic, man.
Yeah, it was really bad.
I mean, so how do you differentiate yourself when you're making content? Do you go in just saying like, I'm not going to catch these like baity things. I'm mainly going to just stick to the points that I want to do. What is your style when you usually like to go into making different content?
Yeah, so I like to, I spend a lot of time on socials, just like especially like Twitter and stuff, and I see what people are saying. I try to find what the people are saying. So things people like Hubermans, people like Rogan's, all these other RFK, we say his name. Those are some of the people like they'll make some claim, it'll be a headline, and they're like, for example, like I guess RFK around today even was like, we're gonna find out we're gonna blame the SSRIs for this school shooting or this church shooting that just happened, I guess, apparently today. I'm just like, why? How are we even gonna make these assumptions and just blame it on this pill? Where it's like everything has been shown to not be, all the evidence, all the research, all the data has like been contrary to what you're kind of saying over and over again. But because he can make it into a nice soundbite, people are going to go to it. And the other reason I do it is because, and I say this when I've given talks at like the American Psychiatric Association meeting, to like my own hospital system as well. Our patients go to social media and the internet, right? Our clients go to this stuff. Unfortunately, in the healthcare system that we have, we're forced to do quick visits. We're not able to kind of have like a full sit down and like, here's everything you should expect with X, Y, and Z treatment or X, Y, and Z diagnosis. So, we do. And clients still go home and they're going to Google it. And they're going to come across things, or they're going to see things, especially in mental health, right? Oh, my uncle on Facebook sent me this post, or I have a cousin who sent me a TikTok that said this about this medication. So our patients, our clients are getting their misinformation from all aspects of social media. And a lot of times, I think there was research data showing like over 50%, like almost 90% of the time, it's coming from non-credible sources. Just some guy or some influencer or somebody who's like, just deciding to sell like some supplement and is like, this is why you shouldn't be doing an antidepressant. But by the way, link in bio for 20% off the supplement that I'm already selling you. Right. So this is the stuff that we're unfortunately having to kind of compete with. And especially with coming out of COVID and the pandemic, this whole non-trust of the medical system and non-trust of science, the politics of today that says question everything, when it's like, why question things that have been well established for decades? And, there's reasons that we don't do a lot of these tests anymore, because we've established beyond a fact that like these things are what they are. So I'm not saying that like there's not bad things about the field. There are things, people take medicine and they get bad side effects, man. No one's debating those things. But like, is that the only thing that is going to happen to you if you were to, like, for example, take a medication? No. So the idea is like, take these clickbaity, rage baity kind of things that get attention and be like, let's examine this and
Okay.
let's see what's making people say this stuff, and then what's the reality of it, and back it up with evidence, data, or research numbers versus just my guy said this.
Real
right?
stuff. I'm sure you've seen Dr. Maybe Spence too. You seen Dr. Is? You ever watch any of his stuff? Dr. Is?
I don't think, maybe I might have, but yeah.
You ever heard of Dr. Is, Spence? No. I love watching his content when he'd be like, someone will say some wild shit and he's like, yeah, let's come in for my TED talk. And then he'll just start going in, boom, 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 boom. And you're like, damn. He's like, this is why you shouldn't be watching this shit. I'm like, okay. I like Dr. Is.
Yeah.
I think it's Is. I don't know. I'll look at it. It's probably fucking Bob. I don't know. It's Dr. Is. All right. I love that. And that's mostly on the YouTube that you're doing that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
Just
right.
because it gives, like, you're able to kind of flesh it out and
For real.
really just expanding. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's
Nice.
fun. And that's where the money is at. So
It's true.
So you see like a wide range of just ages, going from youth to teens to adults. So how do you not only keep authentic with that being in such different worlds, right? How do you do that?
I think it's just, being me more so than anything else. Right. And the reality is, like, kind of like what I said is I'm a normal human being first. And psychiatry is what I do as like a profession. So when I'm even talking about, like, I had like an intake earlier today for an adolescent, and the kid's talking about, oh, I was playing GTA and Fortnite and blah 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 blah, and I was like, okay, yeah, and I was like, I remember GTA Grand Theft Auto when it was like the 2D overhead version on like the computers back in the day, and so I know that. And my mom was the mom of the kids like looking at me like, you know what that is? I was like, yeah, and so I'm asking the questions like, are you playing online with random people, right? Like, so the idea that, like, I know what the kids are doing, right? And so, and if I'm able to like ask that question straight instead of being like, what's a GTA, right? Or even taking a step back and like I ask about like social media because I'm on it and I know what it is. And like parents will be like, they're using this thing called Snapchat and I don't know how they're getting drugs sometimes. I'm like, do you know what Snapchat is for? It's like, do you know how people are using Snapchat? It's like, if you don't know these things, you're behind already, right? So as a clinician who works primarily with kids and adolescents, like, you have to know what all this stuff is just to be able to talk the language. Part of it is because, like, I'm a big kid end of the day, right? I like all this stuff. I still play my video games. I've been playing video games my whole life, right? So I bring that into there. I love movies. Like I said, love professional wrestling. I have little like memorabilia that I have in my office that that people are instantly able to have a connection with. The kid today saw like all my Avengers Funko Pops on my windowsill in my office, and he's like, boom, we've already made a connection. There's already something that's there. And when I'm working with adults, like, I talk straight with them, right? Like, I don't use big jargon because I don't like using jargon sometimes, right? It's annoying.
If I can't spell it, don't tell me that shit.
Yeah.
You give me small words, doc.
Yeah, and people be saying stuff like back when I was in school, and I was like, "What is this?" Oh, I got it. Let me translate it. Let me make it dumb for myself. Remember, I failed out of dental school, so I have to make I gotta make it dumb for myself.
Well,
right?
that's before you start taking the crack. Oh, pause. Do you take ADHD medicine or no?
Yeah. So after all this training, I was like, oh wait, halfway through like my first year out of practice, I was doing all these evaluations. And I was like, wait a second. All these patients I'm seeing for like adult ADHD, that's me. I was like, why did I finish my residency with like a 500 credit score? I was like, because I couldn't pay a damn bill on time, right? Because I'd like put in my calendar, I'd like write it down somewhere, like go sign up for auto pay, right? And you put it in the pile, and you know what happens is you got ADHD and you put something in the pile, it's gone forever, right? So those letters, those bills, like all that stuff, like, you're falling behind, you miss things because you're just stupid, quote unquote stupid, but it's just you're being inattentive, or parents say you're lazy or this X, whatever else it is. And it's like, just was my executive functioning. So yes, at some point in time, I was like, oh, this is what's happening with me. This is why, I've had to run into all these problems where I've had struggles during my life. I connected with a psychiatrist, got in, and was like, let's start up, and it's been a game changer. It's made my life like 100 times better since being able to be like, let's just go straight ahead and think of what I have to do and do it. And I have all the other kind of supports in place. People, it's not just the medicine, right? It's the supports I have in place with my wife, who yells at me for stuff. I love her to death, but she needs to yell at me for stuff to get stuff done, and it works. Right. I have assistants that I've hired to kind of give me, from our private practice, to like go through my messages, give me a to-do list, tell me what I need to do, send me the to-do list, and I'll just do it. Boom. You think I'm going to be like going through emails and phone calls and somebody give me the stuff I need to do and just tell me to do it? Give me a checklist. Boom.
There you go. Brother, I just got done paying like 4 or 5 medical bills the other day and some other shit. And I called the one, I couldn't fucking pay it because the link didn't work. And then I had Colin run the link, and then the link didn't work. And so then, it's been months now. And I called them fuckers finally yesterday. I was mad. He says, we done sent you to collections. Collections? I haven't sent to collections in 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
Collections.
Yeah, this was happening like all the time. I had stuff in collections for like $10 for like an easy pass that I missed, or like a toll that got missed that like goes to collections for years, right? And it's like, what the fuck is this, right? And this is why I can't buy a house, right? because of stuff like this.
We're not gonna get into your demons right now, Doc.
Strikes again.
We're not gonna get into your gambling addiction.
A snowflake addiction.
Betting opponents. I can't stop. Can't stop. Anyway,
Won't stop.
Do you find any like different age ranges easier to work with? Like you said you're like a big kid. Do you find it easier to work with teens? Then you'd be like, or do you feel like adults are like your mainstay?
It's they have their own challenges. Every age group has their own challenge. Anybody who works with who doesn't work with children and adolescents, I'll say this, like in the medical field, and they'll all tell you the same reason, is like, because I don't want to deal with the parents either, right? Because they'll say the parents are the hardest people to deal with when you're working with children and adolescents. I look at it as like a challenge, and it's its own challenge in a way, because sometimes they can be the greatest supports, but they can also be the greatest trauma bringers for these kids, and they can be the greatest obstacles, or they can be the greatest enablers for them, right? So it's a mixed bag. I like that aspect. I like working with children and adolescents more. And that's why it's my main gig, why it's where I spend 80% something of my clinical hours is over there, is because I like the idea that I can really intervene early and change trajectories of life. That's the biggest thing. Because a lot of times with adults, it's I hate to say it's almost the damage is done in a way. It's really hard to unlearn a lot of habits and strategies and ways of being.
Tough.
And with children, adolescents, you see whole lives that are literally just saved by the field. Where the thing that got me into it as a med student was I had seen this kid who had been terribly, horrifically, abused, right, by family members. All this stuff was terrible. And then she was ultimately adopted by this gay couple, and by the time I was seeing her as a student, she's having normal 12-year-old girl problems, and I'm reading through the chart, and I'm getting an idea what's going on. Like, oh my god, if I had this life, I don't think I'd ever be able to go on and live. But here she is, a second chance on life, getting the help that she's been supposed to begin, doing well, and again, normal 12-year-old girl problems. You can ask for anything more than that. And I was that's what sealed the deal for me. That was oh my god, this whole girl's life has been changed and saved.
I agree with everything that you said. I love working with that. That I started private practice. Now I'm going younger and younger and younger because I'm getting more comfortable. So the youngest I got is some 13-year-olds, but I feel like it's a lot of freshmen, 16-year-olds I'm getting, stuff like that. And parents are getting in the way of some stuff, right? And then I'll send a message to the parent, like, hey man, you're gonna have to back off your kid. And they give me this long fucking list of the reasons why they're hard on the kid. I'm like, I'm just letting you know your kid's gonna cut you off in a couple of years when they go to college. You can shit off, get up. I don't really care what you do. So that's been difficult. My biggest joy is working with the kids, but I tell you, I've had some recent breakthroughs with some adults, and you heal some of them old trauma wounds. And I had someone cry, a grown ass adult, 2 hour crying. That shit was wild. And I know them for months now, and they finally broke. And I'm like, Jesus, kid, where's this been?
Oh yeah.
So I think we finally did therapy. And then I said, I think we finally saved your life. Now we can start doing real shit. So those are great moments, but it's tough with adults.
Oh, yeah.
I got a question for you when it comes to working with folks with addiction. You said some of your stuff is like working addiction work. That's a struggle. A lot of my addicts are struggling right now. Alcohol, other drugs, intravenous drugs, shit to get in the streets, black market. It's a tough population, man. There's a lot of recidivism in that and like relapsing. It's tough. So what is your role? Not how do you do, what is your role as a psychiatrist in addiction recovery and treatment?
The biggest thing is really looking at what works and what doesn't work. For lack of a better term, when I was in training again in school and even like in psychiatry residency and the training that goes on over there, our substance abuse rotation was like this throwaway rotation, right? We were working at the VA, and that was part of our 4-week rotation. And when I got married during my residency, and they're like, that's the time that you're going to get married, and that's when you're going to take your honeymoon. We're going to arrange it so that you can just miss the time because don't worry about it, right? And they're like, sit in for, then during the 2 weeks, they're like, sit in for, an AA meeting that they have at the VA, and just get to know the people because they're going to be a revolving door.
Mm.
And that was kind of like the approach, was like, these people never get better.
Mm. And
I'm looking at it and I'm just like, there's something else. There's got to be something else, right? Because all of the fields of medicine, they shrug off substance use and substance use disorders, and they throw it onto psychiatry. And they're like, oh, this is a psych problem. And even then I was saying that, like, even with psychiatry, I was like, we were seeing it as like a throwaway thing too. This thing you just don't worry about, or it's a hopeless thing to do.
Yeah.
So the models that were in play, go to AA, go to a detox center, right? That was like what you're taught. Go to AA, go to rehab, right? And you'll be all better. And then you see that's like an over 90 something percent recidivism, like you said, right? I can't even say the damn word. A failure rate, right? It doesn't work. It doesn't work, right? And that's why it's a revolving door. So I started looking into like all these other things to be like, what can we do to actually make a difference, right? So one of the things was with opioid crisis was Suboxone, buprenorphine, and that is a miracle drug, right? Like that is like over 90% successful. People get better on it, and people want to say like, oh, well, you're just trading one opioid for another. I was like, no, when we talk about addiction, part of what I do is I come from a harm reduction background, which means like I just don't want people to die from these medications, from these substances, right? I don't care if they use it or not. Like, you want to use heroin, go ahead, just don't die. We just don't want you to die.
I got a guy sell it to you. Shit. I'm joking.
We just it's like,
don't say
die.
yeah in that doc. He said yeah. Jesus Christ.
I mean, but the thing is this, right? Is like I always kind of go off on like the harm reduction thing, is that like in regards to like, we've had this, I won a damn medal in 5th grade from DARE for like an essay contest, right?
Okay.
And DARE's motto was just say no. And how well has that worked for anybody?
Mm.
And throughout history, it doesn't work, right? Throughout all of human recorded history, there's been substance use.
Yep. There's
never been a time where humans have not used substances. So it's there and it's not going anywhere. And it's not going to go anywhere. So we have to accept that like, this is part of our lives, right? This is what people will do. And if we just tell people, well, no, and if you use it, it's a moral failing and you're going to go to hell and that's your fault and you deserve what happens to you, like, what happens then, right? But once, white people in the suburbs start dying during the opioid crisis and people are like, oh, we have to do something now, different discussions occur, right? And now it's a crisis and now it's a health epidemic and emergency and all this stuff that goes on. But Suboxone, again, buprenorphine, it's the thing that saves these people's lives. Like I've seen literally people come in, you help them out, and like a week later, they're functioning in life. They're doing everything they want to do in their life. And because it's the addiction, it's all the behaviors that come along with this to support the physiological dependence that comes along with substance use. That's where the problems come from. So if you knock that out, people don't have to be stealing stuff or robbing people or doing X, Y, and Z illicit stuff to support their habit, then you're fine. Right? Then all the problems kind of go away per se.
I know it's hard. I know it's hard to get into them Suboxone doctors too, though, because there's only few in the state and this and that. So they don't make it easy to get into them damn doctors.
They make it hella easy to prescribe 120 Percocets a month, but like you try to get into like see a Suboxone doctor, and it's a huge thing.
It is.
So I mean, you can talk about there's a whole other podcast about the stigma that comes along with treating opioid addiction and alcohol use and substance addiction in general. That comes along with that. So I've had, all of my patients, Suboxone patients, they'll tell me like, pharmacist gives me a dirty look. They're asking me why I'm picking this medication up. And it's like, yeah, I'm taking a medication so I don't have to illicitly use another substance. You should be applauding me. Say thank you for using this instead of me. And then the next person they'll hand 300 Percocets to and be like, sure, oh, here you go. And again, not to say that they're like, those people are not having legitimate uses for this stuff, but like at the same time, it's like,
still,
we have to understand that. Yeah.
So what about them shots, man? You see anyone doing good with them alcohol shots? I forgot what they're called. I got some clients taking those.
Oh, Vivitrol. Yeah.
Yeah.
Vivitrol.
Have you seen it? I guess I'm asking these questions because a lot of folks that are neurodivergent, the comorbidity with addiction is extremely high, right? For coping, regulation, all that. So I got clients that are on certain things, Suboxone, that Vivitrol. Yeah. And I've seen it help, but then also, do they keep going and get the shot? Do they keep taking the Suboxone?
Yeah. And ultimately that's what the idea is. Like, so what I do for alcohol is what's called the Sinclair method, which is the same medication that's in the shot, the Vivitrol shot. It's an oral pill. And you take it an hour before drinking, and what it's supposed to do is interrupt the reward process that comes along from the alcohol.
Okay.
With the idea that if you're motivated to stop drinking and you behaviorally learn that like alcohol is not giving me what I need from it, it's not giving me pleasure or joy, I'm not getting anything from it, why will I keep drinking? And that's part of what I do. And that works 60 to 70% of the time for people.
Okay.
Versus again, 90+ failure rate with like go to AA and detox. And ultimately, like all this stuff with like addiction, substance use is like, what is the underlying cause? Like what is the reason that somebody is using the substance? Is it depression? Is it anxiety? Is it untreated ADHD? Is it autism? Is it loneliness? Is it something else
trauma
that's contributing to this trauma, right? So if we treat that underlying issue, right, I put people on stimulant medication for untreated ADHD that they were self-medicating with nicotine and alcohol and cannabis, and all of a sudden those things drop away. They fall down, right? People don't use these things as much, right? We know this with ADHD people that they start smoking nicotine at an earlier age and they take the longest to quit, right? This is the data, that's the research that's out there. They get into the things like cannabis and alcohol earlier and they have a harder time getting away from it. Trauma, we know this, right? Like that's just how it's the self-soothing that goes along with this. So if we're able to fill that void with proper treatment, whatever that is, whether it's medication, whether it's therapy, whether it's connection, whatever, they're less likely to use these substances in the other parts.
I appreciate you. Thank you. Yeah, a lot of my ADHD folks, man, it's not even the fucking nicotine anymore, kid. It's the fidgeting and the oral stimulation, the fidgeting, right? And they just miss the thing, and the crash outs and the anger that they get after they quit stopping smoking is nuts.
I've helped people get off anything, right? And everybody will tell you the same thing. Nicotine, stop, smoking cigarettes. Nicotine is the hardest to get off of.
I agree.
They all say the same thing.
Yep. Yep. What you got for us, Spence?
I like to ask this question to most of our guests. Is there like a film, a book, or a piece of music, any type of media that's just shaped how you see the world?
a good question. I mean, right now, the movie we're talking about isn't really helpful. I like, like I said before, since it was interesting because I watched it, I'd seen 28 years later, the night before with my movie buddy, which is a great movie on like grief and loss and everything and acceptance of grief and loss and life worth living and all that fun stuff in the midst of the zombie apocalypse and great terrible tragedies and huge losses. And then I watched this the next day again with my daughter on my couch, my 2-year-old daughter, and it just like again it blew me away. So for the last month and a half, 2 months, I've been just like obsessed with this movie and the soundtrack. It's just very, very positive, uplifting, and even though we're talking about demons and shame and all this stuff, like it's about recovery and hope from this. So I think it's really, really fantastic.
It is.
Big fan of it.
You said you also wrote an article that's getting published in the APA. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, so talking about shame in this movie, like I was like, I'd been doing some movie reviews for America's APA through their newsletter that they put out. I've done like for the Iron Claw about wrestling and about male mental health, the Substance talking about addiction. I did about Thunderbolts as an accurate depiction of like mental health and bipolar disorder. It was a cool opportunity. I talked with Paul Jenkins, actual creator of The Sentry, the main character in the Thunderbolts movie. And we talked about like his background and how he got what kind of shaped him creating the Sentry character and all the stuff that came along with that, and how it's like he made a comic book character who has schizophrenia and agoraphobia, and in the film adaptations like bipolar disorder. But like, yeah, it was a cool opportunity. So
awesome,
I watched this movie and then I was like, it like hit me on such a level that like I unpromptedly just wrote this article. I sent it over. I was like, I wrote this article. Nobody asked me to do it, but like, you guys gonna run with it? And they're like, yeah, we'll take it.
That's fucking awesome, man. That's awesome, Spence. It's a big deal to get published in the APA. That's a big deal. That's fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Yeah. And it's something fun that you get to do and merge your worlds.
That's I joke around like when I'm talking with like students and residents that I was like, I haven't done any kind of like scientific research or anything like that, but the publications that are to my name are movie reviews through the APA.
Fucking hilarious.
And that's my contributions to academia is the movie reviews that I've written and
Get
how
a girly
we can
pop
connect
on
to
fucking Netflix.
Yeah. They're gonna be like, what's this guy do? He wrote for K-pop Demon Hunters, and that's his. When I'm applying for like directors or something, they'd be like, what's your research? I was like, oh, I research K-pop Demon Hunters, don't worry.
What's your publishings? My God, it's just him dancing.
Yeah.
I fucking love it.
It was funny because like one of my Instagram followers sent me like a reel of like, what's it like to be a K-pop Demon Hunter dad? It's like the first time you're like the first reel is like the guy's in the kitchen. He's like, what is this? And he's like kind of intrigued. The second time he's like on the couch and he's bopping along. Third time he's like in the get up and the outfit and the girly outfit and doing his whole thing. I was like, I'm not quite there yet. But like
the third time he's a fucking Minnesota Vikings cheerleader. I'm sorry. Oh man,
it's a good one coming from a Lions fan.
I know.
Your whole city can't even drink water. That's fine.
Oh my
Anywho,
God.
let's move on. Gosh, it's terrible there. Anywho, let's talk about the movie. Why not? Let's
we got a lot
it.
to get into.
Yeah. So, do you want to give us just like brief background of the movie? Me and Nas haven't seen the movie, so
Oh man, you guys need to watch it. You guys should watch it.
Oh, I'm so scared. I can't do
it.
I watched Inuyasha. I already know what happens. Once you watch that, you're like, I've seen this before.
So K-pop Demon Hunters, it's a little background on it. So it was made by Sony Pictures Animation and Netflix. They collaborated on this. Sony Pictures Animation, most well known for doing the Across the Spider-Verse series. So just to kind of give an idea of like the quality of the movies, the studios that are producing this is their latest one. And it's a story essentially of a K-pop group. There's 3 of them. Rumi is the leader, Zoe is another one, and Mira is the other one. Those are the 3 of them that are there. And really in the story, they tell like there's been generations of these singers of Korean singers that they use their voices to protect the world against demons. So on one side they're pop stars, right, and then on the other, by day they're pop stars, and by night they're demon hunters. So hence the name K-pop Demon Hunters. So there's the latest trio of them. Latest trio of them called Huntrix. They are about to do what's called sealing the Hunmoon, which will seal the demons into hell forever so that they can no longer cross into the world and feed off the humans. But we see is that, just on the verge of getting there, some cracks start to show up, some problems start to show up. A secret about Rumi is shown to us and starts to affect how the group is able to function. The demons come up with a plan, and their plan is to create a rival K-pop boy band group, demon group, and they're going to steal the fans of Huntrix, and this will destroy the Hunmoon so that the demons can get into the world. And it's a story about, I thought, shame, and talking about shame and being open about it, growing and healing from shameful things. And shame can be representative of anything and everything that we want it to be, depending on whatever lens that you take into the movie.
For sure.
And it's like this, wonderful, nice PG movie. It's totally family friendly. The songs are really good. Like you talked in the beginning, the global phenomenon, it's just became Netflix's most watched movie ever.
Wow.
It was pushed to the point that they had like a sing-along version in the theaters over the weekend because there was so much pressure to like get into the theaters. Like, so even 2 months after it was released, it was still the #1 movie in that for the weekend showing. The Billboard charts have like 7 of like the top 10 songs are like from the soundtrack. Golden has been like the #1 song for a couple of weeks. Like they're fast tracking it for Oscars and all this stuff. So they're talking sequels and all that stuff. Whole new franchise is coming out of this.
There you go. I know
this resonated very well. Yeah.
I hit you up to do the podcast pretty much right when this came out. And you're like, I'm doing this. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Is this a song? You're like, you haven't seen it yet? I'm like, no, I haven't seen it yet. I got a job. It's a joke. And then my niece got here from San Antonio and she was watching it like nonstop on replay. So I know it was hot, and it's been it's on Netflix's top 10 still 2-3 months later.
So it's like, I mean, it's the number, I think just even today I was watching real quick just to give you the timings of it. I was like, #2 is K-pop Demon Hunters, and #3 is the sing-along version of it.
Oh, wow. Didn't know that. Okay. There you go.
It's like Minecraft. Just like Minecraft.
It's time. It's taking over the world.
They always live the sing-along versions now. That's like you're doing well. Yeah, for a movie, if you do a sing-along version.
There you go.
That's still out in theaters. That's crazy.
No, that there was so much fan pressure to put it into the theater because it had been on Netflix for 2 months. People watching it at home, and then they're like, "Put this in the theaters. Make a sing-along version."
Fans are no joke.
No joke.
No joke at all.
No joke.
They do not.
And I had never really done anything with K-pop at all. I was like, let me just throw this on for the hell of it on a Sunday afternoon, and was blown away.
That's it.
Closest I've ever been is like Psy. That's about it. Psy. That dude is like amazing. His performance looks amazing. I would definitely go to a show if he ever went out of like Korea. But
the jokes were that was the last time the Hanmoon was sealed, was when Gangnam Style was big.
Whoop, not Gangnam Style.
Close I've been to this is Kung Fu Panda.
It's open.
Kung Fu Panda. As close as I get to K-pop.
It's like
that's
cartoon.
That's it. All right, let's get to the scene, man.
So the first scene we have is a little bit of a backstory / they just brought out their new song. This K-pop group, they brought out their new song, and it's all about their past lives or maybe even their current life. And what they're living with on a day-to-day basis. And then we see Rumi, who is part demon. And then as we keep on seeing her, those lines that she has keep on showing and showing and showing. And then it starts affecting her voice. and what she can say and sing, and now it's like it's ruining what she thought was like her purpose in the world, was to bring, peace and just prosperity. Um, but and then we also get like a little bit of a flashback of when she was a kid and how her stepmom is pretty much just like,
Cover up.
yeah, don't tell anybody about this, and it's affecting her life. So essentially, she's masking, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
She's masking. She's masking physically, but then also mentally as well. Because if she doesn't, then she's fears that she's going to be seen as like a freak, a weirdo, and also, I mean, they're demon slayers or demon hunters, so it's like, are they going to turn on me now?
Probably.
Yeah. They're going to have to kill me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, what do you do there? And also, has there been like a hybrid of like human/demons in this world? I don't know. These
I
are
don't
the
know.
questions
But I
that
know
one day
this
they'll
is
answer.
what I was. Wait a minute. What's that horrible joke I always used to say? Separate but equal.
There's so many.
Separate but equal. We're going back to Jim Crow days.
That's a joke?
It's not a joke. I'm making
That was a joke?
I'm making a racist joke.
I thought you didn't like certain races.
I don't.
Can't look him in the eyes. It's terrible.
I can't look him in the eyes. One of my clients, Nas, why do you keep making fun of white girls? And I was like, girl, I love you. Don't stop. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the other ones. She's like, I don't believe you. I got to watch what I say because my clients do watch the pod, You're so mean to white people. I'm like, calm down. Y'all got it easy.
Stop it. Stop it, Becky. You stop it.
Yeah. I used to have to say that, like my patients every once in a while would be like, oh, I saw your video online. I'd be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
I know. I get so nervous.
Please don't tell anybody.
Which one?
Yeah.
If it's one of the past ones, one of the new ones, it might be good.
One client was like, you and your co-host start talking about penises. I was like, oh God, we did?
Let's not, wait a minute. Co-host? And co-host? Come on now.
Don't bring Spencer down. Don't bring Spencer down.
Yeah.
It was just me.
Every time he's just like, wow, I got hit in the face again. And you're like, whoa, buddy. Calm down. Damn.
It's always weird. Oh my God. Back to the fucking scene.
Oh, yeah, right. We're doing a pod. We're talking about shame here. We're talking about our scars. We're talking about these things we have to hide from people on a day-to-day basis in order to keep our friendships, keep our loved ones around us, so we're not seen as different from people. What made you want to do this scene, and how do you relate it back to some of your clients, whether they be adults or teens?
Yeah. The scene, we start off with Golden. It is this like, the summer anthem right now, #1 hit in America and the world. And it's this triumphant moment for the girls. This is like they're right on the verge of sealing the honeymoon for good, and there's gonna be no more demons in the world. And it's during this song that we, the audience, are first exposed to like, whoa, Rumi's got the secret here, right? She's showing off her scars, and for her, it's like, once we do this, I'm gonna be able to go to the bathhouse with my girls because my scars are gonna be gone because we're gonna finish everything up. And so she's like this anticipation that's there. I'm going to be able to be with her. No more hiding. I'll be shining like I'm born to be, right? That's the lines that are there.
Jackass.
I won't sing it this time. No more hiding. Okay. My little 2.5-year-old, she's always like, no, so one of the first words, she's like, no more hiding. And I was like, oh, I know she's stuff with my girl. But she, she's doing all that, and that's her moment, and then that's when she starts to have like the voice breaking, the voice cracking, and the lines starting to pop up, the patterns starting to show up, and sitting there right when she's supposed to be at her best moment, right? And that happens for a lot of people, right? That right at the precipice of what could be like their highest moment, something pops up. Sports guys, you got talking sports, like we see it every year with like NFL draft. The night before the draft, somebody dig some shit up about them, like an old Twitter post of them, smoking and was it Laramie Tunsil? I think it was like
Yeah.
the
They bring up
the
stupid
bong with
shit.
like the gas mask, all this stuff like comes
Yeah.
up,
being
right?
a
This
cocky
thing that
black kid. Yeah.
yeah, like all this stuff gets brought up. Or like old, they might have dropped like the N bomb and or used like these words in a tweet like when they were like 15 years old or something like that. And it's like, well, we can't draft this kid anymore. We all have stuff, right? Ultimately, that's what it is. It's like that we all have something. We may not have all made racist remarks on Twitter, but at the same time, we all have something that I have not. I will say that. But like maybe not. Who knows? But
I
like
don't like the
some stuff.
comments. What?
Yeah. But we all got like something going on. And the shame, the patterns represent all kinds of different things, right? They can be things like having autism, things like having ADHD, things like depression, anxiety, being biracial, multiracial. It's hinted at in or the flashback kind of shows that Rumi's patterns come because her father is a demon, or her father was a demon. I guess we're assuming he's been dead because mom is dead and she was raised by Celine, the old singer, and that can be part of it. Whether it's things like eating disorders, whether it's things like being queer, right? Anything along those lines.
Yep.
And you can even look at it as like scars, like self-harm scars, self-injury scars that people will have that show up at times where maybe we don't want them to be seen.
It's sad, man, because not only is she dealing with her own shit, and then you got the mom perpetrating more, but the mom is trying to protect her, but then also, it furthers her into the spiral. And then she can't even connect with her homegirls on a real level, right? It stops you from connecting. And so you kept talking about us in the pre-production about connection, healing, community-based healing. And we're going to get into in the next scene here in a second. And this shame or this scar, this wound, this addiction that my clients deal with, or like maybe their family's crazy because they got, prison, abuse issues, trauma issues, right? My clients really struggle with it, man. They'll put off connecting to people. I've got a lot of clients that got severe medical issues. And that's a hell of a shame, man, to act normal, to deal with severe chronic pain, fibromyalgia, back, spinal, eczema. Jesus Christ, I just found that eczema. It's on their head, armpits, and their genitals. I didn't fucking know that.
Oh, yeah.
It's devastating. Now I know why some of my clients aren't talking to people and all that. It just came up. I've been doing this for 12 years now. I just found out this is getting in the way of my clients, like being with people. And those scars are huge, man. Scars are huge. I know myself thinking that was stupid, this and that. You talked about dropping out or getting booted from school and having to deal with that shame. Yeah. So we'll get towards it towards the end, but you said the family's from Pakistan, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so
parents are from Pakistan. Yeah, they immigrated over here. My dad's an engineer. I'm in retrospect, I can like look and say like he's probably autistic on the spectrum. My mom is a family physician.
Okay.
She was wanting to do like OB-GYN, but like had to kind of get steered into something else, which was more family oriented in regards to like not having a regular surgeon hours of having a more like regular 9 to 5. So she had to give up part of her dreams to kind of be like, well, you're going to come over here to America and you're going to be a mom. Oh yeah, but also we need you to like, pay the mortgage and pay the rent and everything. Be the main breadwinner for the house too.
Yep. The reason why I bring up that is because a lot of my international students, Asian, from India, Pakistan, they always say this one word, and I circled it. You didn't say it, but you were trying to say it. Society. They always say, what will society think? What will society think? What will society think? And that's when you see her holding those scars or covering the scars in multiple scenes. And we'll get to it in the last one. They always say society. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, kid. I mean, it's society or you die mentally, physically. What do we do?
Yeah. And there's a phrase that we use in Pakistan, India, and Urdu and Hindi, Punjabi, whatever you want to like the languages, log kya kahenge, which is what will people say? And that's what it always comes down to is like, what will people say if they find out about this thing, right? What will people say? My sister married my sister married a white guy, right? It was a huge
Damn
thing, right?
Jesus.
Family got over it pretty quick, except my dad, right? He's unable to get over it. This part of the reason, the rigidity, the stubbornness that's there. He's like unable to move on it, even despite like, our uncle, his older brother, my uncle, his older brother, being like, get over this by now, like accept this person into your life, but like not going to, right? And the main thing is he says like, what will people say? Despite the fact that everyone has said to him, it's okay, we accept him and it's fine. It's the thing, right?
And if your immediate family and everyone is Gucci with it, my God, brother, move on.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit about these random people that you grew up with, that you went to high school? Who cares? But I get it. It's tough.
We've already said it's all good.
It's all good. It's wild, man.
Yeah.
What's up with this second scene? It starts to get real spicy in these next two scenes, Spence.
Spicy.
We get the emotions.
Yeah, level 5 spice right there.
And some hot wings. This gonna fuck my stomach up. This gonna fuck my stomach up.
I know you are the worst person to do spicy.
I know. I can't do it at all anymore. I can't even.
Maybe we can't talk about this scene because it's too spicy. Might fuck you up,
bro. I can't even.
Hold on, I gotta take a shit.
I can't even eat barbecue sauce no more, man. It's fucked up.
That's actually pretty nice. What the hell is wrong?
Barbecue sauce is sweet.
No, the barbecue sauce is that medicine. I'm on one of them GLP-1s, right? Because my big ass blew up too damn big, and everything. All my numbers are fucked, and so now I'm on a GLP-1. Now if I eat fucking anything spicy with mayonnaise, I die.
Yeah, I remember you had spicy mustard on a trip. This was a couple of years ago.
No, that spicy mustard was crazy.
No, what?
That spicy mustard killed people, bro. No, that was at Boar's Head. Pause. Also, Boar's Head got in trouble for like all their meat products being like tainted and poisoned.
Not their mustard.
Hey, that shit was probably poisoned too, but I was literally shitting my brains out for like 3 days on a road trip.
That's why I don't eat lunch meat.
It wasn't the lunch meat. It was the mustard.
But you said the lunch meat went bad.
It was bad. It was horrible.
See, that's what I'm saying.
It was horrible.
Never be right.
It was horrible. Right. But yeah, no, my tummy hurts. Yep.
Anywho, the second spicy scene. Shinu, is that his name? Shinu.
Don't know.
So we find that these two are getting together secretly.
What?
Right?
Secret. Of course, secret.
No, down low. I know something about that.
Secret.
When I'm down
low. They're meeting in secret, and then Rumi tells him about her secret. While he's a demon, they have a sing along together, so they're getting along good. The problem is here, and you talked about in pre-production, is that sometimes we find people that we have an understanding with or who we connect with, but sometimes that connection is a negative one. Or at least and it's at least at first it may seem like it's a positive one. You found somebody that you can talk to, that you can relate to. But in some cases, you could have it to where you are, it could be detrimental to you in the long run of things. Can you speak a little bit about that and how these relationships, like say like you're in like rehab or something like that, and you meet someone that you're that you feel like you're connected to because you can bond on those different moments that you've had, but can you speak on those connections and how maybe those could be detrimental in the long run rather than in the short term?
Yeah, we part of what I was doing before we had some staffing issues was working at an adolescent partial hospitalization program. So we get a lot of people who are like teen step downs from like the inpatient psychiatric unit that are coming down over here. So they're spending a week or something on the inpatient unit. Then a lot of people get stepped down to our partial program. So they're spending 2 to 3 weeks over there. So there's a lot of times that there'll be some people who are going along for the whole ride together, spending a month with these people. You're doing like group therapy with people. You're spending, a long time with people, and you're connecting and you're talking about the stuff that's shameful, potentially shameful stuff that's at your darkest stages, right? Because nobody's going to the psychiatric hospital on like when they're doing the best, right? Like that's not their shining moment of their lives, right? And we know this for people, right? That's part of some of the worst moments of their lives when they're being psychiatrically, for anybody, psychiatrically hospitalized, or you're having to get a step down for there. So you're meeting people at that point of your life and their life as well. And that's not what we say, like necessarily like a true representation of who they are, right?
Yeah.
So that can be there. And we know also that, like, you know, when people are dealing with mental illness, we try not to have them kind of connecting with each other, right? Because there may be misinterpretations of feelings, right? That are there, emotions that are there, misrepresentations at times. And also, again, like, again, you know the stuff about each other that maybe you wouldn't want to know about somebody that you're partnering up with. But a lot of times when you're in that emotionally vulnerable stage, these stages, you're looking for some connection.
Yeah, something.
And a lot of times teens who are not as well versed in the love game misinterpret connection for love or romance. And we're all sorting out these feelings all the time, and adults too, right? It's not just teens, but adults definitely do this as well, where they misinterpret feelings or connection as something more than what it is. But this happens a lot. And then, you know, you can imagine like people, they may get together, then they break up, then this stuff gets used against each other. Well, I knew you did this, and I knew you had this happen to you. And it turns really ugly really fast. A lot of times when these things break up, you know, we joke around that, you know, like when I'm doing intakes, and I'm like, oh, do you have a girlfriend? Do you have a boyfriend? And they're like, yeah, we've been dating for a long time. They're like, how long have you been waiting for? Like a week. They're like, oh, we just started to get out of my girlfriend. We've been boyfriend for like 3 days. So like, you are nothing right now. But again, these extreme interpretations of what relationships are and how they go from like, I'm in love in 2 days to we're broken up and now I'm suicidal, right? Or I'm self-harming, or I'm using substances to get over my relationship that ended after a week after we met on the inpatient unit, and they went back to their girlfriend that they didn't tell me about. Like, that's all the time.
Yeah, it's sad.
Right. And it's sad, right? And I'm saying it kind of like glibly, but at the same time, I was like, it's really hard to get across these people to our patients sometimes, to be like, there's reasons we don't have you guys exchange your numbers. There are reasons we tell you don't friend each other on social media. There are reasons we tell you people like, please don't get into relationships with each other. And anytime we like see that stuff happening, we kind of like try to nip it in the bud as much as we can, because it more often than not, it's going to turn out poorly and negatively.
So that's the dark side of maybe being extremely unhealthy, right? Looking for a connection, but not necessarily this romance connection that we see in the movie. When you were talking about these two, you used that word co-regulation, right? And I was trying to look for a word, right? And I couldn't look for it. But they talk about the song multiple times where they're like soothing each other, right? I don't fully remember it, but hey, when I'm with you, I feel good, this and that, blah, blah. I never feel good with anyone. And then here you are, and it's like, this is magnificent. And then they're holding hands, romantic as shit.
Yeah.
Demon eyes and shit. Good looking boy. Her hair's all long. Let me stop. With this co-regulation, it doesn't always have to be romantic. It can be platonic as well too. Could be maybe spiritual, could be mentor. I think you talked a lot about family as well, your wife, kids, right? This co-regulation, how the hell does one find that? And what the hell does that even mean? What does it even mean to regulate or to co-regulate? What does that mean?
Regulate is more so like, you know, it's hard to explain in a way of more so like, you want to have your emotions in some kind of quote unquote normal range, right? Where we're not oscillating between extremes, right? We're not getting like over the moon about things, but also we're not getting like down in hellfire for when things go really, really bad. And regulation is more so like, you know, we can say it's the yin and the yang, the people balance each other out, right? There's the old joke of like, you know, why do introverts get together with like people who are really loud, and, you know, loud extroverts is because, you know, you need somebody to yell at the waiter for like the fries being cold and it damn well ain't gonna be me, right? Like there's the joke that's out there is like, I need somebody else to do that for me, right? But to kind of again like balance each other out, to kind of have there to help the other person get back centered to being at some kind of stability point, equilibrium as a whole. And even like with the song Free, like I think there's aspects of like therapy, right? Like a therapist client relationship as well, where the idea is like therapist creates this safe space where the client, the patient is able to express themselves freely, for lack of a better word, be open, be true with themselves, to process what needs to get out there. And the therapist can serve as that Tupperware for the client to kind of process, work through their emotions, and to contain it, be a container for it in a way too. And that can be a form of regulation.
One of my client was saying one time, these couple therapy shows, wild, man. I ain't having fun, but whatever. And the one always talks about, I want my partner to submit. And they keep using submit. And then I finally realized they meant it more in like this Christian way where they say in the Bible where the wife submits to the man, blah, blah, blah. And so the wife said, I will fully submit to these things, because the way the other person says it, more like bend the knee submit, where the other person saying, I'll fully submit, surrender, be with you. I'll let you hold me, grab me, embrace me when I'm falling. I'll trust you if you do this, this, and this. And I'll submit to my humanness to you if I feel safe, if I feel loved, if I feel protected, if I feel cared for. But I don't feel that. And so the way that they feel the submit is to bend the knee every time. And I just realized the nuance of that within the last few days. Of what's being said in the relationship. So this love and protection thing, I get a lot of clients that like run. So they run from emotions in the office. They don't want to cry. They don't want to talk about hard stuff, right? And we talked about on our podcast with Vibe with Kai, we use humor a lot to deflect, to distract.
Yeah.
And this person shuts the Zoom camera off on me. And I just like, damn, what happened? They get a phone call,
yeah.
Or, they get a text message. And I say, hey, you crying? And they say, yep. I said, so then we had a long talk about emotions and crying, vulnerability. Like, don't do that. Also, why did you do that?
Yeah.
And so let a long talk on vulnerability and a long fucking talk on trauma and abandonment and all this other shit. I'm like, Jesus Christ. That co-regulation, that therapy, that healing, that freedom. They kept saying free in that song. You were right.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about a therapist. I was just thinking friends.
Yeah, there's all kinds of ways to interpret it. And there's like the main other part of the lyrics too is like looking back at things is like, we can't fix it if we never face it.
Yep.
Let the past be the past till it's weightless, right?
Yep.
And the idea is like, we can't just avoid it. We have to look at what the past is, what it's done for us, and then confront it, and then let the past be the past till it's weightless, right? Till it's just a thing that happened in the past versus this thing that's on our back all the time.
There's some good stuff in that song. There was. I'm gonna get all jokes aside. I was actually legit really good.
Yeah.
Pause. The boy, does he have any shame about being a demon or no?
I mean, his whole thing is he sold out his family. He sold out his family 400 years ago, and that's how he becomes a demon. And that's where the shame is. And part of other parts of the movie is him saying that to be a demon is to do nothing but feel. And I feel shame all the time. I'm constantly hearing Dima, the head demon, the big demon, in my ear all the time, saying these things that I don't want to hear, bringing me down all the time. And that can be a representation for, of course, anything and everything: depression, anxiety, trauma. Always you hear this terrible voice in your ear telling you you're not worth anything. You betrayed your family. When later in the movie, when the band is broken up and the girls have to get back together in a way, is the other two girls will be like, oh, this is the family. You thought you had a family. No. Or that you thought that like everybody laughs at you because you're funny. It's like, no, they laugh at you because you're a joke. Again, all these terrible things that people are saying to them,
Jesus,
all in their ear all the time. Yeah.
Jesus. It's intense.
Yeah.
So we got one more, right?
Yeah.
One more thing.
That door.
This is where Rumi is finally showing off that demon side. Finally showing it. And she's angry.
She's been exposed. Yeah.
She's finally been exposed. It happens to all of us.
Yes.
Right. And she finally confronts this stepmom about this, and even though she's coming to her desperate and angry, mom still is just like, hey, you still gotta hide this. We're past this. We're past this now. It's done.
Bitch, I got different color eyes. Jesus.
There's no reversing this, you know? We've got the District 9 eye, you know?
Oh
just
my
like,
God.
fucking-
We got to do that
Listen.
movie one day. That movie fucked me up, man.
One day.
Yeah.
South Africa. And so she's confronting her about it. You know, she's finally just like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna do me now. Just gonna do me. And then she evaporates into a pink mist, as one does. So what made you want to do this scene, and why is the mom such an asshole?
Jesus.
It's interesting. It's
Is
interesting,
it
right?
because she's trying to make sure her daughter is safe?
Is it?
All that old chestnut?
Is it?
Or is it
Oh,
her
it
own
is.
selfish reasons? Like she doesn't want to be associated with that, you know?
I feel like
Yeah.
she's trying to send her to that. What are they, them Christian camps where they try to make them straight? It's one of those
Oh my
things.
Conversion
god.
camps. Yeah.
Conversions, the
Yeah.
conversion camp. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Didn't
those
work-
usually work out well.
Did not work on me.
Yeah.
No, they couldn't. No one can make you do anything now.
You
so
gay
you don't want to.
Come on. I'm not even gay, dude. Okay. Continues. Sulman, sorry.
Someone said it.
It's this whole idea of like we talk about, like conditional love, right?
Yep.
Essentially, that's there. And you know, we want to get like real psychodynamic and stuff, right? So I like had written this down because even myself, I like don't always believe it, but like shame reflects a failure of mirroring, right? Like the child's need to feel seen, admired, validated, it's unmet ultimately, right? That's what shame becomes.
Mhm.
So if the full self is kind of shamed, or the self is shamed instead of mirrored, it leads to fragmentation and a false self. So Rumi hides her identity not because she's dangerous, because she's never been mirrored as lovable or whole, right? Her shame emerges from abandonment, not moral failing, right? It's because, you know, it's really kind of like heartbreaking. You're watching this scene, and Celine, this, you know, again, was her mother's friend, raised this girl since birth, since her mother died, to be like, you know, then made a group around her. She's the next generation of the hunters. And she's like, you know, I didn't realize that this was going to be part of raising you, this being that you were going to be part demon, right? And again, the metaphor being for whatever, that you were biracial, that you were queer, that you had a disability, you were having trauma, that something that came along with raising you. So it's the idea of like a masking shame that comes up with it. And it's the idea of like, again, Rumi wanting to be like, this is who I am. You forced me to cover this up, and you couldn't love me for this. You couldn't love all of me. You could only love these single parts of me, the things that I did really well. You know, again, like bring up my sister in this situation. She's a pediatric radiologist. Like she's a genius, like a really well, high functioning doctor, you know, but like that doesn't matter, right? Because the one thing that's being seen by my dad for this is that she married a white guy, which was, what will people say? And that's the greatest sin that could have been committed in his eyes. And everything else that he's accomplished is erased and gone. Doesn't mean anything at all. So we see this, right? We see this in all parts of life, that parents are always going to want people to cover up certain things. And whether it is from like their own kind of what will people say, their own thinking about that. What women will think if they find out that Rumi is a half demon, and what will the girls think? It's really heartbreaking. I always kind of like tear up when I see that part of the movie, because it's like it hits on a different level of like, we all have something that people want us to hide up, but we just can't, because it's not the full authentic self.
Yeah, I agree with all that. That last word, forgive me if I say it wrong, but she's like all of it or all of me. She says it with anger, right?
Yeah.
That emotion and that gravitas in her voice, the goosebumps, and then gone. She also has that goosebump kind of gravitas in her voice again at the end of the first scene that we watched, where she's on the roof. And then everything lights up, right? And you can hear like the monsters. Very impactful. Very, very, very sad. Her talking to her stepmom, that last 20 seconds of that third scene. You're just like, Jesus, kid. I know me and you, we think of our own shit. And in ways in which we hide things, our shame. You talked about debt. You talked about ADHD. You talked about this and that. You just hide so many things. I just think about being neurodivergent, ADHD and autistic, and just the way people have treated me at work. The way they continue to treat me on my way out the door, right? They treated me like dirt out the door. Boss has had a chance to say goodbye to me at the end today. The last minute, I had to stay late to work with a crisis. Didn't even say goodbye to me. Congratulations. Wish me luck. Nothing. They treat you like shit. I see the people that get promoted over me with half of my resume. It's like, come on, brother. Why? And it makes you just horrible. It makes you think, second guess everything that you do. It makes you second guess your worth as a person, as a therapist, as a caregiver. And you wonder, is it my awkwardness? You wonder, is it your ADHD? You wonder, is it autism? Is it the hoodness? Is it the way you dress? Right? All my clients, we all wonder, what is it? Client said a second ago, they said they were talking, and I said something and I stuttered. I can't believe I stuttered out loud. And they were, I just believe that, I said, don't. And they looked at me. I said, finish the sentence. That I deserve this. They said that I deserve this pain, this misery, to be treated poorly. I'm like, fuck. I couldn't believe I just randomly stuttered, don't. It's weird. Like something just took over me. I didn't want to hear it. We think these horrible things because people tell us these horrible demonic things, these bad things that we suck, blah, blah, blah. The world isn't made for us. And then you start to believe it, right? A lot of black and brown folks, we're just so fucking angry. We don't even know why. Don't even know why. Your family's thinking a certain way about you. And I assume that you were a little nerdy kid as well, too. A little ADHD nerdy kid with all the nerdy shit you got now. I guarantee your family, and I've got a lot of international kids that I care and love for now. This, right? It's this. And I don't feel like you fit that mold when you were younger, but I'm going to kick it to you. Did you fit the mold? And did your parents have to reshape you? What was the vibe when you were a younger kid?
I've always been the other kid. My entire educational life, essentially. Pakistani kid, Muslim kid. I initially started going out to public school, but then in second grade, my dad used to drive me off of school. One day he missed the turn. I was like, Dad, you missed the turn. What the hell happened over here? And he's like, today we're going to a new school. And then I was going to an all-boys Catholic school, where they start the day with the Lord's Prayer and in a uniform. And I'm like, what is going on over here? Right? So the one kid who's the Muslim kid over there, the one brown kid over there, I've always been othered. And then when I finished that second to eighth grade school, I went to another private school, Albany Academy in upstate New York. So a lot of these private schools over there. We had a boys' school and then the girls' school across the street. Some of the people that I went to school with, they're classmates with mine. Elise Stefanik, unfortunately, she's one of the MAGA sycophants who's now I think the embassy ambassador to England or something like that. She made her name huge during Trump 1 campaign. Melissa DeRosa, she was lieutenant governor under Cuomo Andrew Cuomo recently was involved in some of his scandals and stuff. Anthony Constantino, a little piece of shit who runs Sticker Mule, who is one of his more clear claims to fame is like he made a Donald Trump statue after he got like shot in the ear of his fist. He made a statue and presented to him on his and then he got into a fight on Twitter with the workwear guy, the men's fashion guy, and getting totally eviscerated by him. So these are some of the people that I went to school with to get an idea of like,
yes,
the people that I was going to school with.
Different
right?
vibe, brother. Different vibe.
College. I went to Siena College, another had a Franciscan tradition.
Yep.
Very liberal arts school, very small liberal arts school, where it looked like an Abercrombie catalog, right? Because it was like 90% white, something like that.
Yeah.
So, and then similar, I went to Buffalo for dental school, and I was like another outsider over there. That didn't work out for me. So my whole life I've been like the outsider kid.
And where'd you go for medical school?
Right,
You said the Caribbean?
Caribbean, yeah.
How was that? Was that all white folks too, or you get some color folks over there now?
No,
I don't know, man. I feel like all the white people go there.
Yeah. No, we had a pretty solid mix.
Okay.
We had a pretty good mix, people, but it was still predominantly white.
See?
So yeah, it was still predominantly white, but like definitely, we know this in medicine as a whole, right? Medicine as a whole is, and I'll say that I'll clarify it to say like the leadership of medicine, right? The people who are the directors, the program directors, the CEOs, in the offices making the decisions, they're white guys, right?
Always.
They're not people who look like me, right? They're not people with quote unquote funny names, last names. Like when I was selling Cutco knives in college and people were looking over my sheets and being like, who are these people with the funny names that you're trying to sell knives to? And I was like, what the fuck did you just say? I was like, that sounds kind of racist to me, bro. Like that's not cool. Like some of these people are like my family and you're saying they have funny names. Like I can say their name fine. Why can't you? That seems like a personal problem, not me, so that kind of stuff that I experienced our whole life, like it's there.
It eats at you.
It's always been there.
Did you ever think that did you ever think that you couldn't make it though because of some of this bullshit or no?
Sometimes. I mean, like, one of the things my dad said to me, it's good stuff about my dad. I can look at some of the good stuff about my dad too, is that he's, part of things that he had me do was like read autobiography of Malcolm X at a hella young age. When I was like in the 4th grade, I read that book, and he gave me like a whole like series of books on like, the civil rights movement of Black America, like at a very young age. 3rd, 4th, 5th grade, I was reading all this stuff that I'm like looking back, I'm like, why was I reading this? But like it definitely formed. I didn't see it at the time, like what he was doing. And again, I'll give him the high five that like he gave me this education, made me read this stuff on my own to be like, oh, these are the challenges I may face in some way. And he said it to me, he's like, he said, people are always going to look at your name and they're going to see your name.
Yep. Mostly.
And they're going to make a judgment off your name. They're going to assume something. They're going to think something. I've had, I was working at my buddy's Suboxone clinic. We had somebody from West Virginia, and he was the standard West Virginia stereotype kind of person that you expect coming over to me. And he goes, boy, you speak English real good for a Pakistani. And I was like, brother, I was born in this country. I have like a 750 in my verbal SATs. Like, you better damn well bet that I speak English really well. It's like, don't make these assumptions because of my name or like what my skin color looks like. Like, this is, part of the reality that like anybody who's the non-dominant race in this country, right? Yeah, is going to experience in their life. It's like this part of what the reality is, what life is.
And I'll end with this.
We didn't see,
go ahead.
Oh, I was just like, real quick, I was just saying, like, part of the movie stuff is like, I love seeing Miss Marvel, like with the series that was on Disney about a Pakistani Punjabi Muslim superhero, because we never had that when I was growing up. I'm lucky, I'm blessed that my daughters are able to see that and be like, this is our superhero. This is our person that we have to look up to. When I grew up with Superman, white Clark Kent, and Batman, white Bruce Wayne, and everybody being white, and we saw with when Black Panther came out and what that meant to the community, to the Black community, and it's the same thing to see representation. And again, another reason I love this movie, K-pop Demon Hunters, because like Koreans, right? Like it's K-pop. It's this group of people that we don't talk about. Where Asians, and there are similarities with Asians as a whole, like Pakistanis and Koreans. We don't accept our children unless they become doctors and lawyers and stuff. But like, that's part of the deal. So
for sure. I appreciate you being authentic and real about a lot of this stuff today. I appreciate you being vulnerable and actually speaking on some of the stuff. Right? Not everyone does that. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
You got anything else for us, boss? Any sauce?
Nope. Well, good. All right. Is there anything that you want to promote? Your new article, your website, your social media pages, anything you want?
Yeah, read the article. It's going to come out over this weekend, so beginning of September, through Psychiatric News. That's the newsletter of the American Psychiatric Association. It'll be my review analysis of K-pop Demon Hunters. Follow along. I tell people TikTok is my biggest one, but I don't use it anymore. Use my YouTube. You're going to get all kinds of fun stuff on there. youtube.com/the Kicks Shrink, KICKS, and then Shrink SHRINK. The Kicks Shrink in front of
Kink.
that.
Wait a minute. Is it Kink or Kicks?
No. Whoa.
Hey,
people thought it was Kink Shrink at first. It's Kicks.
Okay, because if you need me to grab
sneakers.
some nipples, I'll grab them.
Oh boy, Kink.
Yeah. We do my own podcast on there as well. It's been a little bit since I've had some guests on there, but like definitely have had some great guests and stuff. Leaders in the field, trying to have like authentic conversations as well with them, and truth versus fighting. Always fighting misinformation and disinformation.
Facts.
That's on these socials. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
There you go. All right. Well, we just want to thank you so much for coming on to the show. It was a really fun time and learning more about K-pop.
Yeah.
What a time. We just want to say thank you again and appreciate you being here and for your time. I'm Spencer. That's Nas, Different Spectrum Podcast.
All right, everyone. Much love. And remember, take care of yourselves.
Or don't.
That's completely up to you. Peace.